So my name is Tom O'Brien, and the name of our company is the HYM Investment Group, and I'd like to welcome you to the beginning of a brand new chapter, a brand new series of chapters, maybe even a whole new book for Suffolk Downs. Let's hear it for Suffolk Downs, everybody. On behalf of my partner, Doug Manns, who's right over there, Doug, give us a wave. And my other partner, Paul Crisali, who could not be here today, plus the whole HYM Investment Group team of people who I'm surrounded by. We have a wonderful team of people who've been working on this project since the spring of 2017, if you can believe it. But we are really ready to go. We have a plan in place. We have a first phase that's ready to come later on this year. We'll talk about that in a moment. But really, for us, the most important part of today is we're opening today this track for public access. For years and years and years, I think people have come to this track and have looked out on this track as well as the beautiful infield, and they have begun to think about how great it would be to kind of walk around the track and see what it would feel like to see what the horses feel like on the track, what they run upon, get a sense of how big the infield is, get a sense of how big the site is. All those things have been prevented really for people for years and years and years. People have not had the chance to do that because this has been a secure area because of the horse racing, right? Today what we're doing is we're opening the track to public access. This gives people the chance to come down here. You can run on the track. You can run on the inside turf running track in the middle of it. You can walk on the infield. You can bring your dog down here, please, on a leash. Bring your dog down here and walk with your dog. You can really enjoy this place, explore the whole track, and have a great time doing it. It's open to the public from dawn until dusk from today onward, which we're really excited about. So thank you, everybody, for being here for that. I'm going to talk more about our first phase in a little bit, but I'm surrounded by some really wonderful partners with us. We have a group of elected officials in both East Boston and in Revere who've been amazing partners with us since the very beginning. This is 161 acres. It's by far the largest site that's ever been taken on for a development like this in the history of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We're excited about the fact that it's located right on top of the Blue Line. We're excited about the fact that we're located both in East Boston and in Revere, and we're excited about the fact that we're going to be able to welcome people and have people live here to the tune of probably 15,000 people will live here when we complete this. There'll probably be 25,000 people who come to work here, not even counting the thousands and thousands and thousands of construction workers who will build this. Proud members of the Boston Building Trades, all union members because of the project labor agreement that we put together, and all the representatives of the building trades who are here. Thank you for your help. So that work is all coming, but it took a lot of effort to put together a plan, to put that plan in motion, to get that plan approved, to make sure that people in the neighborhoods understood what it is we're trying to do, to make sure that all of the elected officials understood and were clear on what it is we're trying to do, for us to receive people's feedback, to make that plan better. And every step along the way, every interaction we had with every single elected official was helpful for us. It helped us make this plan a better plan. And now we're ready to implement it. The first person I'm going to introduce was one of our earliest and best partners. Mayor Brian Arrigo had just come in, had become the new mayor of Revere when we first sat with him shortly after we purchased the site. He was excited about the new chapter, the new book, as I described it, that is coming at Suffolk Downs, and he elected to partner with us right in the beginning. And he was very clear with us, together with his colleagues in the City Council and his colleagues in City Hall, very clear on what the goals are for Revere and what it is we're trying to do. And because of that, because of their clarity with us, we were able to make something happen, and we're really in the process now of implementing that together with our great partners. So I'd like to welcome up first Mayor Brian Arrigo, our great partner, our great friend from the city of Revere. Mayor.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Tom, for your friendship and your partnership throughout the last few years. I know I was a new mayor when Tom came in, but we were really clear, and what was great was the ability for Tom to communicate with everyone that's behind me and the city councilors and all the folks from state and local partners that made today possible and made the future possible here at Suffolk Downs. And I want to thank you for welcoming us here to celebrate the opening, the grand opening of the track at Suffolk Downs. I also want to thank the City of Boston for their partnership as we develop Suffolk Downs into not only a new neighborhood, but also a link between our two communities. The City of Revere has been a site of recreation for the Commonwealth for a very long time. While Revere Beach continues to welcome families while looking better than ever, over the past dozen years, we have seen dog and horse racing shut down at both Wonderland Dog Park and Suffolk Downs. These two sites were really important for the city. They established our identity in the region and provided employment and recreation opportunities for all of our families. I know I was a lead out at one point, a very long time ago, at Wonderland Dog Track. And what's so great to be here today is that our history has inspired the track at Suffolk Downs, the grand opening that we're here commemorating. And it's with a rich sense of both continuity and innovation. The project today marks the first time in the history of this site that the mile-long oval will be open regularly to the public to come walk, run, exercise, or just hang out. And by being located on the Blue Line, this track offers our residents some very familiar luxuries of accessibility alongside an expanded sense of what a public space can and should look like. The track also represents, as Tom talked about, the good faith effort that they have made, that HYM has made, to make sure that the development of Suffolk Downs prioritizes the needs of both current and future residents. While the track itself is only temporary, it offers the city a promise of the continued benefit that we will see on this site as construction continues. Boasting not only biotech space and commercial real estate, mixed income housing, Suffolk Downs, most importantly, will be the home to public amenities that will transform the landscape and offer new places for our residents to congregate and for neighbors, both new and old, to get together. I also want to thank Artists for Humanity for contributing the art installation and the Revere Beach Partnership for facilitating the beautiful sand sculpture that we see behind us to promote this year's International Sand Sculpting Festival. The amount of detail that goes into these pieces of art is really, really amazing, and take a look at that detail. The broad array of connections that you see here today and the people that have made today's grand opening possible truly does reflect the amount of passion and the amount of care that the folks in our community have, and the pride that our community has. Finally, I want to remind everybody that the progress that we've made at Suffolk Downs and the transformation is still yet to come. It will take all of us, everyone that's here, and many more folks, stakeholders, neighbors, to make sure that we take advantage of all of the opportunities that are before us, and that all of those opportunities benefit all of the residents in the Commonwealth. With that, I do want to acknowledge and recognize our folks at the state and local level. And so I'll start with our state delegation. The members that we have here are Jessica Giannino, also a counselor at large, and Jeff Turco. We have Representative Adrian Madaro. Thank you for being here, Adrian. For our city council members, Council President Anthony Zambuto, Vice President Jerry Visconti, and Councilor at Large Stephen Morbido, and our two home ward councilors, Joanne McKenna and Ira Novoselsky. We have the Northeast Regional Representative for our vocational school, Anthony Caggiano. And the last person I'll recognize is Ward 5 City Councilor John Powers. And the reason why I recognize him last is that the day that the track opened was actually the day that he was born. So that is the truth. That is the truth. So it's a fitting day. So, Tom,
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Really great, really great. We didn't, hopefully, Councilor Powers, we didn't reveal your true birthday, right? It was just all good, but we're really very excited that you're here. I would like to ask a couple of other elected officials to come up. So we've been working in partnership really between the two communities, and it's been a wonderful partnership between East Boston and in Revere. I want to, before I introduce Representative Adrian Madero, I want to make sure that I acknowledge the fact that City Councilor Lydia Edwards has had her staff come here. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate that. Councilor Edwards was a person who we thank you. Yeah, if we could do. She could not be here today, but I want to make sure that if you could take this message back to her, we were deeply thankful of all the work that she did with us. We spent a lot of time with Councilor Edwards. She, too, was an elected official who was very clear with us about what she wanted to see happen on the site. She was very clear in working with the various constituencies. The best part of working with her at the end of the day for me was, after we had finished all of our conversations, she stood up at our public hearing and she supported this project, which is a really amazing thing for us. And so I'd like to, if we could have one more applause for Councilor Edwards. Thank you so much for her. I do want to introduce, Representative Madero, who's also been a wonderful advisor and friend to us from the very beginning when we first purchased this site. We spent a ton of time together with the representative. He, as I said, really has been a great advisor, and that's, I think, comes from the fact that he was born here in East Boston. He's been an activist all of his life. He's been working on issues in East Boston, as I say, for all of his life, not just his career. He's a person after my own heart in that he graduated from college, went out into the working world, became a state representative, and then went to law school at night, which is a path that I did at Suffolk University Law School. Let's hear it for Suffolk University Law School. Representative Madero, I'd love to have you come up and just say a few words. Representative. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to be with you all here today. I mean, first of all, the fact that we're not stuck at home on Zoom doing this online is already amazing. But to also be with so many great neighbors in Revere, in East Boston, and beyond is just an exciting day. Tom was very kind in this introduction. The process to get where we are today, it was a lot of fun working with Tom and his team. I have never worked with a team who was so willing to sit at the table and collaborate. And through that work, we struck really a historic community benefit agreement that will yield at the end of the day over 40 acres of green and open space for our communities to enjoy for the future. But the fact that Tom and his team at HYM isn't making us wait until the project is complete to enjoy that open space is really exciting. Today we're standing on this track that we'll now get to enjoy for the foreseeable future. A track that Seabiscuit raced on. This is historic, folks, right? I've sat in these stands before, never thought I'd be able to walk this track because we weren't allowed to. And now, I have a 2.5-month-old at home, and I'm so excited to bring my wife, my baby son, Mateo, and stroll along this oval, taking in the historic nature of what this means for our communities to access this green and open space. And I think this is just a sign of the wonderful things to come that will be yielded from this project. And of course, that would not be possible without the communities of Revere and East Boston who rolled up their sleeves and worked with us. And of course, without Tom and his team at HYM, who were just incredible partners, who also never hesitated to find common ground and to try to make things work for the communities of Revere and East Boston. So I can't thank you all enough for being here, and I'm excited to take a stroll around the Oval with you all. Thank you and have a great day. Thank you, Representative. I'd also like to introduce in a moment our other sort of home representative, Representative Jeff Turco, who's a brand new member of the House of Representatives. Congratulations on your election. Thank you. As I introduce you, I'm just reminded, I want to tell one quick story. I'm looking at my friend Dino DeFranzo. So our home representative was the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And so for me, we were scheduled to meet the Speaker early on, and so we were scheduled to meet at, say, 12:30. And, of course, I got there early at 12:15. Dino, of course, for those who know him and love him, was late. And so I'm sitting there 1:15. And Dino comes down the hall, and I said, Dino, man, it's just the speaker. We got to be on time for the speaker. Speaker comes out, gives Dino a big hug. We love you. This is the best. This is really great. Great to see you. It didn't matter with the speaker or with Dino. So, but thank you so much, Dino, for all the work you did. I'd like to thank... I would like to thank the speaker, who obviously could not be here today. Hopefully in his retirement he's enjoying some summer day. I know it's cloudy, but hopefully he's enjoying a summer day somewhere. But Representative Turco and I have just met just recently, which is great. We've begun to lay out our plans. We look forward to a long and good working relationship with you and helping to make this whole site work very well. So Representative Jeff Turco, thanks very much for coming.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity to be here today and to speak. This is such a great day. I think back in my youth, my friends would learn to scale fences to get onto this track, and now I can legally get onto the track, so it's nice to be here legally and lawfully. But I want to thank HYM, Tom and his team. I want to thank the mayor and the city council for their leadership, the partners in Boston. I mean, this really is a transformational project for what it's going to do for our area. When you think, you walk into this track and you look at the size and scope just of the track itself, and you realize the breadth of this property and what it can do for our communities, Boston and Revere, and fundamentally change. And to have a visionary leadership team that Tom leads, to go out and listen to the people in the area and say, you know what, in Revere, I was thrilled to hear when they announced that 500,000 square feet of laboratory and manufacturing space of pharmaceuticals is going to come on the Revere side. And that doesn't happen by accident. That happens because the mayor, working with his economic development team, talking to Tom and his team, talking about how we can do something that fits better for the people of this area and not just swamps us with housing that people have concerns over. So, Tom, I want to thank you for being on the fly, being willing to listen and adapt. Thank you very much for what you do. And I also want to thank the people from the building trades for being here. Boston was built on the backs of the men and women of the building trades movement, and the people that I grew up next to on Reservoir Avenue, Revere, were all members of various building trades. And so it's so important that when we do projects like this here, we recognize and we employ good union jobs. And I'm thrilled to see that the building trades has a PLA on this project. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. Thank you, Representative Giannino and Representative Maduro, for your leadership every day on the Hill and for being partners with me up there. God bless. Take care. Thank you.
So now I'm going to do just two more quick things if I could. So our team really had the foresight to say, okay, we're opening the track, but there can be some other special things that we might do. And as the mayor said, one of the things we've done is try to work in partnership with the Revere Beach Partnership, quite frankly, on the sandcastle sculpting festival that happens. And so we've done our own. I didn't do it. Trust me, I didn't do this. But there is a sandcastle sculpture here, and we've been able to work with the mayor's office and in partnership with the mayor to really put something together that is hopefully draws people from the beach to here, and hopefully from here to the beach. So we really want to make this connection. We love all of the things that make up the great city of Revere, and we're really excited about drawing in all those connections. In addition to that, what we've also tried to do is working with Artists for Humanity. So for people who don't know, Artists for Humanity is this amazing organization located. They now have a permanent facility located in South Boston. It's a effort to take young people in the city of Boston and surrounding areas who are perhaps struggling, trying to find their way or try and think about how they can have an outlet for their artistic expression. And these are oftentimes people who are of color, young women and men who are trying to find their way in the world. And Artists for Humanity has a multi-year, multi-decade, wonderful history of helping these young people find their artistic expression, find their place, find their path in life. It's an amazing, amazing nonprofit organization. We've been looking, quite frankly, for probably 11 years to find an appropriate way to partner up with them, and this was a perfect opportunity. I'm going to introduce Kelsea in 1 second, but she's going to talk about these pieces that are on the front of the clubhouse in one moment. I just want to draw your eyes to them. And as I introduce Kelsea Arbona, who's from Artists for Humanity, Kelsea, I just want to thank you for your partnership with us. The work that we do with you folks is really inspiring and amazing for us, and we thank you very much for being here today. So, Kelsea, thank you.
Wow, how can I follow all of that? Thanks everyone for being here today. I'm Kelsea Arbona, the design director at Artists for Humanity. We just mentioned a little bit about it, but for those of you that don't know, Artists for Humanity is a nonprofit in Southie. We aim to employ high school Boston teens from primarily under-resourced neighborhoods in art and design projects just like this one that we see behind us here today. I was nervous this morning because I was like, I want to do this, but I don't know where it's going to be, so I'll go this way. This summer is particularly important for AFH because we're celebrating our 30th anniversary. And we're also employing almost 200 teens this summer across our creative studios. So for the past few months, we've been collaborating with HYM in our graphic design and our painting studios to design what ultimately became the Window Walk. We went through lots and lots of names, and that's the final one. So make sure you shout it out once you leave here.
Window Walk.
Our goal for this work was to really create an engaging experience that viewers and guests would have a reason to be inspired to walk or run or sit in front of or hang out in front of the full length of these vast, vast windows. Can you imagine designing those windows in this little sketchbook and then they end up here? I think each window is like 8 feet by 8 feet, maybe bigger. Definitely bigger than me. So in our creative process, we always aim to create work that people feel connected to, work that people can kind of see themselves in. So the concept that we ultimately agreed upon was that we really wanted to create this outdoor gallery kind of exhibition experience that appreciates and really celebrates the small and big moments that we're just so fortunate enough to be together, especially after the last year and just like we're here today. I guess take this concert scene. I don't know if you can see it. It's behind the sand sculpture. I'm not a rock star singing up here, but I am fortunate enough to stand up here and see myself a little bit in that work because I got to just stand up here and be with all of you and be proud of our team for getting to see it all come to fruition. So we really hope that all other people that get to view this work will see themselves in the work as well. As a teen mentor, I always tell our teens that their talent is so valuable, but their ideas are invaluable. So thank you, HYM, for believing in our ideas and giving us such a public space to display them. Access to public space is always going to be important for our communities, and access to public art is always a win for equity. So please take a postcard, color it in, be part of the art. Thank you.
I'm going to do two last quick things, and they're advertisements of more events to come at Suffolk Downs. While I have you here, I can't let you go without telling you what we're doing next. So we've been working, as I said, on the design and the eventual delivery of the first phase at Suffolk Downs, which will be about 1,400 units of housing, about 500,000 square feet of life science, 160 room hotel, and about 85,000 square feet of first floor retail, great restaurants, great spaces for the Beachmont area right over there, right at Beachmont Station, which we're excited about. The team, the HYM team, together with a lot of great partners, many of whom are here today, have been working very carefully to put that together, and we expect to have a groundbreaking back, here. It'll probably be winter months, so we'll probably have a tent set up for you. We'll do all of that, but we invite you back for that. So the groundbreaking for that first phase will happen later this calendar year. Might move over a little bit into the next calendar year, but it will happen this coming winter, which we're really excited about. That's the first piece. The last thing I want to just talk about, and I'm going to embarrass her for 1 second. Jess, if you could raise your hand, Jess Ferroli. So Jess, thank you. We have actually, as I do this, every HYM person raise their hand real quick. We got HYMers spread throughout the crowd all the way through here. We have an amazing team of people, really, really great folks. So if you're standing next to an HYMer, please say thank you to them. They're really, really great. So Jess came on board over a year ago, just before COVID. We had, Doug and I and the whole team, we had these wonderful plans for outdoor music this summer. We had great plans for all kinds of different, festivals and things like that. Well, there was this thing called the worldwide pandemic that unfortunately intervened, right? But those plans still exist. And so if you could keep your eye on this space, we have those same plans. And so our expectation is outdoor music here on this open space, really great opportunities for festivals. You can see our imaginations run wild. This is a great place for people to come and to visit and to have fun and be part of. And as Representative Monteiro said, we can do this now, even before we've delivered the open space. And that's our objective, is to make this a great place for people to be and to enjoy and to be welcomed to. So we can do that with music and food and festivals and enjoyment. And we want this place to be welcoming for everybody, from every neighborhood in the cities, from every place, from every background, whether you grew up here or didn't. We want this to be a welcoming place for everybody. That's our watchword. That's our watch phrase. That's what we want to focus on. So with that, I thank everybody for being here. We look forward to welcoming you back in the near future. So thanks very much. Thank you. Oh, we're going to cut a ribbon. And we're going to cut a ribbon.
It's really good scissors.
Be careful of that. Holy mackerel.
All right.
Mayor, why don't you hold the scissors?
Yeah.
And everybody come forward.
And front.
How about that?
Okay, and hold on one second. Kelsea, come over. Where are some of your young people? Where are the young people? Oh, wait 1 second, Tom, please.
Jeff and I can hover in the back.
Wait 1 sec. Jeff, you can go in the
Yeah.
Tom, I just want some students. Keep the camera, go ahead. I'm on that side. A lot of
You did the work, you guys. Come on over, guys.
Come on, come right over here.
No, for an answer. Come here, come
Guys, can you fill in the space here too?